Did your son do hand modeling and as a woman's hand model as well?
I'm just going to say it's true.
It's not true.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're examining our picks for the 10 times people were caught lying on TV.
Oh no! Okay, sorry. I'll shut up.
Was it a hat accident?
It was James Blunt. It was James Blunt trying to get his pop career back.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at infamous incidents of when people, including famous faces, told fibs on television and were called out on it. Forgotten awareness.
In my case, I was re-taught how to read and write.
The scandalous Member of Parliament and former Health Secretary Matt Hancock caused more controversy when he accepted a deal to take part in I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here in 2022. With everyone criticising him for taking the cash, he claimed he would use the show to promote awareness about dyslexia, which Hancock publicly announced he had in 2021. So the audience watched and waited with bated breath. Only nothing. And people were livid. Of course, the show might have cut the scenes out of the broadcast, but it seemed unlikely. It took nearly 2 weeks for Hancock to briefly bring up dyslexia. However, this didn't stop the charity Made by Dyslexia from calling for the MP to do more on the show. Investigative reporting.
Well, Nicola, I have to say I've got more than a big surprise for you.
If you're going to go undercover on one of the 1990s most popular TV shows, you probably shouldn't use your real name, or else the show's producers might realise that you're actually a journalist.
You don't work as a temporary secretary. I know for a fact that you're an undercover journalist and you've robbed somebody of coming on a proper blind date.
That's exactly what happened to Cosmopolitan reporter Nicola Gill when she appeared on Blind Date looking for the inside story, pretending to be a single secretary.
She's a journalist, ladies and gentlemen, not a blind date at all.
Astonishingly, rather than quietly ask Nicola to leave, host and national treasure Cilla Black outed Nicola as a journalist during filming. She was met with resounding boos from the audience and confusion from her date. And not only was she not a secretary, but she was also engaged to be married.
Nicola Gill of Cosmopolitan magazine.
Not the bees. Rising from being a Channel 4 host to international fame through acting in The Good Place, Jameela Jamil has had rumours about possible fibs in the past. But in 2015, helping Mark Ronson to promote his new work, the actor told a crazy story. Jamil explained a buffet at Ronson's mansion caused a swarm of 500 killer bees to descend upon it and wreak havoc, making everyone flee in panic.
Wow.
I have very much so pissed off the beehive that are now all over me.
After the tale went viral, Ronson was asked in an interview with Moshcam about the incident. And it was vastly different. He said when Jamil was interviewing him, there was a fruit plate nearby.
Maybe one or two individual bees approached slowly.
1 or 2 bees came to check it out, so the 2 wandered slowly inside. Not quite as dramatic. Model mess. In a 2022 article with GQ, Robert Pattinson stated he often made up stories in interviews about his life just for funsies. Well, that hobby came back to haunt him in 2011 when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The host asked the Batman actor if rumours about him being a former hand model were true.
Early in your career, I know you did some hand modeling. I read about this, and
Being watched on by his mother in the audience, an embarrassed Pattinson admitted it was a fake bit he made up for talk shows. He tried to save face by claiming his dreams might have merged with reality. The actor then asked his mum if his hand modelling was real, only for her to shake her head and clearly mouth, "Not true."
did your son do hand modeling and as a woman's hand model as well?
I'm just going to say it's true.
It's not true.
Uh-oh. Royal Slice. In late 2016, music fans were concerned with images of Ed Sheeran sporting a scar on his cheek. The story soon came out that the singer had attended a party hosted by Princess Beatrice. She was then asked by James Blunt, as a joke, to knight him.
It was James Blunt. It was James Blunt trying to get his pop career back.
When Beatrice used the sword, she didn't realise Sheeran was behind and struck his face. On the Graham Norton Show in 2017, Sheeran was very careful with his wording and kept saying alleged. Later, Blunt claimed Sheeran was drunk and fell at the party, causing the wound, and they made up the tale for fun. Then, in 2020, Sheeran's manager, Stuart Camp, stuck to the original story. It's a confusing mess, but who's lying? Let us know below. Down with the people. As the UK had to go through the semi-regular process of a new Conservative Prime Minister taking charge in 2022, the candidates were doing TV appearances to improve their images. And Rishi Sunak went on This Morning. On it, Rochelle Humes and Andy Peters referenced the bizarre photo of him struggling to use a contactless card at McDonald's.
Using the chip and pin machine
Which
correctly.
I managed to work
You've
out.
mastered that. Yeah, well done. He's got the chip and pin machine sorted. Love that.
Then the host asked him what his order usually was. Sunak mentioned his daughter always gets the breakfast wrap with hash browns.
Oh, the girls like the
my
wrap.
eldest daughter is all we get the wraps. If I'm with her, that wrap with the hash brown and everything in it is what we do.
However, as it turns out, the UK McDonald's hasn't had that item on the menu since 2020. Sunak's office claimed that since he hasn't seen much of his kids in 2 years, he was probably thinking of incidents back then, but some don't buy that. Punchgate. The former Emmerdale star Roxanne Pallett became one of the most hated celebrities in the UK when she appeared on Celebrity Big Brother's final series. She accused housemate and Corrie star Ryan Thomas of assault after he jabbed at her.
Oh, woman beater.
Go on, what?
Bloody hell.
She went on to sleep separately from the other housemates and told Big Brother she no longer felt safe, leading to her premature exit.
Can't believe you're letting somebody stay that's done that.
Thing is, this was actually not the truth, as the viewers at home could see that he only playfully tapped her. Her overreactions caused an outpouring of sympathy for the grief-stricken Ryan and an immense backlash against her in what ultimately became the most complained about British TV moment of the decade at the time.
All I can say is I'm devastated and I'm sorry.
Daytime fraud. In 2017, Laura Burrell and her husband Philip appeared on This Morning to talk about her struggles living as one of the youngest people in the UK with dementia.
I must be absolutely just cracking up.
But by 2022, all that goodwill evaporated. The story broke that Burrell's mother, Frances Noble, had defrauded Hertfordshire County Council of £624,000. Noble pretended she struggled to get about, was bedridden and needed care, only for the lies to be discovered. The Burrells were seemingly involved in the scam and used the cash for trips abroad.
And just to raise awareness and as much money as I can, not just for my kind of selfish type way.
There were even some claims she had lied about her dementia, but this isn't confirmed. Burrell was sentenced to 3 years and 9 months, and her husband got 4 years and 3 months. To queue or not to queue?
Well, we wanted to come to pay our respects to the Queen because she was just such an amazing person.
If there's one thing you don't do in the UK, it's jumping ahead of a queue. After Queen Elizabeth II passed away in September 2022, her remains were lying in state for the public to pay their respects. While famous faces like David Beckham were praised for standing in line for hours, Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield seemingly jumped the queue.
None of the broadcasters and journalists there took anyone's place in the queue, and no one filed past the Queen.
A photo featuring a very angry-looking Schofield went viral. After that, the This Morning crew had to play PR defence. The duo insisted they didn't jump the queue and were only there as journalists to film a segment for the show.
Please know that we would never jump a queue.
However, some don't buy this explanation and believe Willoughby and Schofield were only covering their reputations. Secret shindigs.
She told the British people again and again that no rules were broken.
As the global pandemic spread in 2020, it caused the UK public to forgo the outside world for long periods due to the lockdown. But some higher-ups in the government weren't keen on following the rules they had created. On top of normal shindigs throughout, the Conservatives also held Christmas parties in 2020. One such attendee was then Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He originally denied there was a party before evidence came out. Johnson then claimed no rules were broken, but that too was incorrect.
We are humbled by the experience, and we have learned our lesson.
By April 2022, he faced a combined number of police fines of up to £12,000. The Partygate scandal and the various lies, in part, caused Johnson to resign as Prime Minister in July 2022.
Sue Gray published some pictures of the Prime Minister at the birthday gathering, for which he got a fixed penalty notice.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.